Make a choice. 2 pills. One red, one blue. Take the blue pill and nothing changes. Take the red pill and you will see the world as it really is. A simulation. Yep, that's the plot of The Matrix. But the idea that we are living in a virtual world might actually be true. And the best part is, you can break free from it. Scientists call it the simulation hypothesis. Everything you see, feel, and experience might be part of a super detailed high-tech computer system. From your heart racing when you meet the love of your life to that fancy car you've always dreamed of, none of it is real. Let's say this theory is correct. How would it work? There are essentially 2 types of virtual worlds we could be trapped in. First, we have owned simulations. There is a clear central commander, like a game master, pulling the strings of everything we experience. Think of it as a video game. In this case, you're like an avatar from The Sims and someone's controlling your world. This higher being picks your job, decides when you need to go to the bathroom, and might even start a fire in your kitchen, just for fun. Okay, maybe fun isn't the best word, as it's more like sociological research. This super intelligent creature might have created a simulation to see how human history unfolds. They might be testing different events with different starting points, just to see what happens and how we, and other creatures of our planet, face different challenges. For example, this time they tried putting dinosaurs on the planet to deal with that huge meteor impact. Turns out, they didn't. All they want to do is test the problem-solving skills of humankind. That might explain why they didn't put us in a 100% happy, perfect virtual world. Okay, but who are they? Who is controlling our simulation? It could be some transcendental being, something beyond our ability to comprehend. Or it could be extraterrestrials. If one galactic civilization figured out how to create a high-fidelity simulation, they could make billions of virtual civilizations. Each of those could have trillions of beings. All they would need is more powerful computers. In fact, this may explain why we have never made contact with any extraterrestrials, even though there are probably 36 other civilizations out there in the Milky Way. If we are living in a simulation controlled by cosmic beings, we won't be able to see or contact them unless they want us to. Our great architect could also be a super advanced AI, like a control freak version of ChatGPT. And that brings us to the second type of virtual world we could be trapped in: hostless simulations. These run without a boss, just like AI-generated stories. In this case, the creator is gone, but the simulated world keeps going on its own. Think of Star Wars Galaxies, for example. This game, based on the world-famous franchise, came out back in 2003. It was an open-world multiplayer game, which meant you could freely explore a huge, interactive map without being forced to follow a strict path. But its servers were shut down in 2011. That wasn't the end of it, though. A few loyal fans still play it on private servers. The problem is that developers stopped updating it, and without anyone keeping an eye on what players are doing, it opens the door for more glitches. Things that go beyond what the game was originally designed for, and definitely shouldn't be there. But the game is still running. Now, apply this Star Wars Galaxies situation to our reality. In the hostless simulations theory, the universe is a mess and humans are a glitch. Instead of being purposefully created, our consciousness and existence might have just emerged by a technical accident. So we might be nothing else but a bug in the code, like anomalies stuck inside a simulation with no owner, running on autopilot. But that can lead to a doomsday scenario. If the simulation gets overwhelmed with glitches, it could eventually collapse. See, the more we learn, the worse it gets. Our cultural and intellectual evolution might trigger a game over or a frozen screen because the owner of the simulation, whoever they are, might not want us to figure things out. They could reset the system or get rid of the source of the glitch. which, by the way, could be humanity itself. That's kind of like the Final Fantasy XIV situation. The game was originally released in 2010, but it was a mess. Players ran into all kinds of bugs and technical issues. Things got so bad that the game was shut down, and the developers decided to rebuild it. Then they released a new and improved version called A Realm Reborn. And a rebirth might be exactly what's in store for us. In fact, about 100 years from now, we might create an AI capable of running simulations of all humanity. It would use data from internet archives, DNA samples, photos, videos, and so on. This means that everyone who ever lived on Earth could be recreated in a virtual world, and in some sense, be born again. The problem, though, is that we don't have perfect knowledge of the past, especially the more distant times, so the simulation might not be 100% accurate. Whether our universe is controlled by some higher architect or the random powers of a super advanced AI, some experts believe that, yes, it is possible. Here are a few ways we might be able to hack the simulation. Hack number 1. Start by exploring the illusion. Look for its rules or flaws, and check for weird patterns or things like déjà vu that might point to its hidden structure. Hack number 2. Overload the system with massive amounts of data. This could eventually cause errors and push the limits of the simulation. Hack number 3. Crash the whole system by making everyone aware of it, for example. At some point, the simulation either shows its true form or just shuts down completely. The whole idea that we're living in a virtual world is definitely fascinating. But is it real? Let's talk numbers. Some scientists believe there is a 50-50 chance that Earth is a simulation, but the odds might be actually much higher than that, because there are an infinite number of potential simulated worlds. And inside each one of them, there are simulated people who have created even more simulated worlds. So, mathematically speaking, the chances of finding yourself in the one true physical world are almost zero. Although it is really hard to prove it, some experts believe that evidence is everywhere. It could be as simple as feeling a déjà vu. You know, that strange feeling when you think you've experienced something before, even though it's happening for the first time? That could actually be cracks or temporary flaws in virtual reality. Another possible evidence is what is known as the Mandela effect. This is when a large group of people remember something differently than how it actually happened, like a shared false memory. For example, a lot of people remember the iconic "Luke, I am your father" from Star Wars. But what Darth Vader actually said was, "No, I am your father." For some people, this is enough evidence to prove we are part of a simulation. And while we haven't found the red pill just yet, we now know it's not impossible to crack the code. So it might not be a bad idea to let Keanu Reeves know about this, just in case.
That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.